In the final days of the Korean War, United States Air Force pilot Hal Jordan and his wingman, Kyle Ace Morgan, are attacked by enemy pilots. They had not yet been informed of the ceasefire. Hal is shot down in the ensuing conflict, and while landing, he is forced to kill a Korean soldier after ejecting to safety. Elsewhere, at Gotham Observatory, the last survivor of the Green Martian race, John Johns, is accidentally teleported to the Earth by scientist Dr. Saul Erdel. The shock causes Erdel to suffer a fatal heart attack, though he manages to apologize before dying. Unable to return to Mars, he disguises himself as Dr. Erdel and covers the doctor's body with a lab coat as a sign of respect. The following year, Superman meets Wonder Woman in Indochina, where she celebrates with a group of women she rescued from political rebels. The Amazon allowed them to exact their own brand of fatal justice upon their captors, which Superman is horrified to learn. Men are caged and used for satisfying their own pleasure. He reminds Diana that the government is distrustful at best of the heroes, which has led to the Justice Society's disbanding and many more unfortunate decisions. Diana, however, resolves that she must do what she feels is right. In Gotham, John Johns has been living quietly under the guise of Dr. Erdel, taking evening strolls for groceries and newspaper while learning what he can about humans and Earth society through television. He shapeshifts into different guises during his nightly viewing, before settling on the form of a film noir detective. Superman later confides in Lois about Wonder Woman and Batman, neither of whom, he says, would sacrifice their principles for each other. Lois replies that there will always be boogeymen like Senator McCarthy and that the nation's heroes need to be strong and stand up for everything that America symbolizes, and that America needs a proper leader. In Las Vegas, reporter Iris West is on assignment to interview singer Buddy Blake, who is trying his best to flirt with her. At the same casino, Hal Jordan and Ace Morgan are enjoying themselves playing craps. While Iris is on the phone with her boyfriend, Barry Allen, Captain Cold arrives to rob the casino. Hearing the events on the phone, Barry races to Vegas from Central City. When Flash confronts Cold, he tells him he has hidden 6 cryogenic bombs around Vegas set to go off in 90 seconds. Flash zips around the city and locates 5 of the bombs, but deduces the 6th is a decoy and captures Cold before he can escape by helicopter. Before being subdued, Cold is possessed by a mysterious entity who asks Flash why he is faster than the other lesser beings before leaving the Rogue. Captain Cold is frozen by his own freeze gun as Flash has rewired it, and the 5 bombs go off in the air, much to the joy of the citizens of Nevada. Hal and Ace leave the casino and head into the desert. Hal is unclear about their destination, which Ace keeps a surprise. Ace notices Hal has been acting differently, and Jordan confesses that things haven't been the same since the war and his time in the hospital. After Hal confides in Ace, the two arrive at Ferris Aircraft. A test pilot position is indeed waiting for Hal, thanks to a recommendation from his friend, the young Miss Ferris, daughter of the owner of Ferris Aircraft Corporation. Back in Gotham, John joins the police department as John Jones, and using his integrity, sharp analysis, and telepathy, rises to the rank of detective within 2 years. While investigating a child kidnapping tied to a sacrificial ritual by a cult-worshipping an entity called the Center, John and his partner, Slam Bradley, cross paths with Batman, who is also on the case. The three team up to fight the cult, but a fire breaks out during the battle, temporarily weakening John until Slam puts it out. When Batman tries to free the boy, the child is terrified by his appearance. John steps in to calm him, and he and Slam free the boy themselves. The cult leader, now possessed like Captain Cold was earlier, speaks in the voice of the Center, warning of impeding judgment. Hal Jordan begins training exercises under Colonel Rick Flagg at Ferris Aircraft. His joking, devil-may-care attitude rubs Flagg the wrong way, but Carol Ferris is understanding and recognizes Hal's natural ability. Carol also recognizes that Hal needs to know the true nature of his training, which she soon reveals to him. Colonel Rick orders him his next mission, and Hal leaves Carol with a flirty remark, but not for long. Soon after, Carol picks him up at the base and takes him somewhere down the Vegas desert, where no one comes around. She takes him down a secret tunnel to a whole new world underground. The government has commissioned Ferris Aircraft to build a spacecraft capable of traveling to Mars. Special Agent King Faraday is assigned to oversee the project, which is in response to Dr. Erdel's contract with Mars and John's arrival. Hal Jordan is literally amazed at the whole new secret development. Back in Gotham, the Dark Knight reveals his knowledge of John's true nature in his apartment. As he's able to find a way to shield his mind from John's telepathy, he suggests a wise choice would be to form an alliance against the cult that is rising throughout the world, a cult that worships the Center. Batman has no trouble trusting him up to now. However, he warns John that should he betray him, he's fully aware of and willing to use the Martian's vulnerability.
All I need is a penny for a book of matches.
In Central City, the Flash defeats a robotic duplicate of Gorilla Grodd, but is soon targeted by government agents led by Faraday, who attempt to capture him to uncover the secret of his powers. Using his supersonic vibration ability, Flash narrowly escapes. Meanwhile, John Johns interrogates Harry later, a former Ferris employee arrested for murder while under the Centaur's influence. During questioning, Harry accidentally reveals information about a launch to Mars. His claims are confirmed when Faraday arrives to take him into custody. John briefly peers into the agent's mind and uncovers the truth. After watching the Flash announce his retirement on live television and seeing the public's contemptuous response, a disheartened John attempts to stow away on the rocket so that he may return home. Before leaving, John visits the Batcave, revealing he's known Batman's identity for some time, through deduction, not telepathy, and hands over his final research on the Centaur. He admits he's losing faith in humanity, prompting his decision to leave Earth. While attempting to board the ship as the command center gives out the orders to fire off the rocket, John is caught on camera by Faraday, who confronts John and fights him on the launch pad. John is able to beat Faraday, but saves him from the rocket exhaust by flying him to a platform before collapsing. The rocket is damaged and malfunctions shortly after exiting the atmosphere. Hal wants to attempt a landing, but his co-pilot, Colonel Flagg, reveals that the rocket is loaded with weapons of mass destruction, and as such, he won't risk it. After a brief struggle, Hal is ejected from the cockpit. Though he is saved by Superman, the distraction allows Flagg to detonate the rocket. Soon after, Superman brings Hal Jordan down onto the secret space center in the Vegas desert, where Colonel Ferris is more than glad for his arrival as he sheds tears of joy. Hal looks on as the launch gates close down on their failed attempt to land on Mars. John Johns is held as a prisoner by Faraday. Superman blasts Faraday for treating John, a fellow alien, different from him, just because John looks radically different. He also points out that the captivity is entirely John's decision because he can escape at any time using his powers. On Paradise Island, Wonder Woman trains with Mala and tells her how America has changed since the war. Her training partner says the island has changed as well, and that many Amazonians desire a change in leadership. Though Diana quickly fends off a challenge from her fellow Amazonian, the two of them are soon to be set upon by the approaching danger, the Centaur. Meanwhile, there's a huge explosion at the Ferris Center headquarters where Hal is residing, and even Carol sees a huge blast of green light emitting. She runs to where Hal was resting and sees that he is missing along with another flying ship blasting through the roof. Hal Jordan is later found by Abin Sur, the Green Lantern of Sector 2814. The destruction of the Mars rocket by Ferris aircraft badly wounds him as he enters Earth's atmosphere, so he instructs his ring to find a worthy replacement. He leaves his ring with Hal and tells him of the Centaur, which he describes as a monstrous creature that fears humans and seeks their destruction. In the Batcave, Superman reviews John's research with Batman and meets Robin for the first time. Robin is thrilled to see the Man of Steel in person, but Batman promptly sends him off to do his homework. As they discuss the Centaur, a news report from Lois interrupts, detailing an attack by a giant pterodactyl at Cape Canaveral. Superman rushes to the scene and subdues the creature by pinning it to the ground with iron ropes. Moments later, Wonder Woman's invisible jet crash lands nearby, its cockpit smeared with blood. Before passing out, she warns Superman, "The Centaur is coming." Superman is heartbroken seeing her like this and shouts out for the medic immediately. Faraday eventually befriends John, who saved his life, and occasionally plays chess with him. John reveals to Faraday that he decided to remain at the agent's base willingly because of the upcoming battle with the Centaur, and had telepathically looked into the agent's mind during their battle at the platform. John has a renewed hope for humanity and decides to participate in the battle to save Earth. But before leaving with Faraday, John adopts a new Martian and human superheroic hybrid form as the Martian Manhunter. Hal Jordan walks into an Outback restaurant hoping for a quiet drink, only to see chaos unfold on the TV screen. As he watches the live broadcast, his ring glows bright green, calling him to the battlefield. In Central City, Barry Allen reveals his secret identity to his girlfriend, Iris West, but seems like she already knows. She encourages him to join Superman, Wonder Woman, and the others to defend their land against the unknown threat. The Centaur begins its attacks on the United States off the coast of Florida, finally revealed as a massive flying island. The threat draws heroes such as Flash, Green Arrow, Adam Strange, the Challengers of the Unknown, and the Blackhawks, who clash with the soldiers on base. The ridiculous conflict is stopped by Superman, who advocates cooperation between the two sides. He is unexpectedly seconded by Faraday, accompanied by John, who agrees that the government and the heroes must work together for freedom. With that, Superman heads out to do reconnaissance on the center, at the heroic cheers of the soldiers and heroes at the base. Superman is greeted by many mutated dinosaur creatures jumping on him, but the Man of Steel is able to decimate them with his laser vision. Unfortunately, the center shoots him with a blinding force of light mixed with burning power, which leads to the inevitable defeat. America's hero, Superman, has gone down in the battle, and the exhaustive search for his remains proved unsuccessful. Lois Lane reports this with a heavy heart. Moved by his effort, the rest of America's superheroes and military forces band together to defeat the center. Batman interrupts a meeting between Faraday, John, Will Magnus, and the Challengers, introducing them to Ray Palmer, a scientist known for his work with matter reduction. When one of the Challengers argues that the technology is too unstable, destabilizing anything it shrinks, Batman replies, "That's exactly the point." A plan is formed. Use Palmer's reduction ray to destabilize the island. The heroes will launch a frontal assault to distract the center, while Hal and Ace fly a bombing run into the creature, leaving Flash to quickly crisscross the island with the ray. On this day, there are no Democrats or Republicans, no hawks or doves, just pure human will and courage against the might of an ungodly being, for mankind's survival. Good luck to us all. While the aerial assault led by Batman and Green Arrow as pilots is nearly outmatched before the intervention of the Blackhawks, Faraday's ground forces are ambushed by a herd of rampaging mutant dinosaurs. John is overwhelmed by the psychic assault of the Centaur, but is rescued by Faraday, who is soon captured by a Tyrannosaurus. As the dinosaur prepares to devour him, Faraday pulls the pins on 2 grenades. The creature's head explodes, killing them both. The shock of his friend's sacrifice snaps John out of the center's control. Rejoining the fight alongside a recovered Wonder Woman, they help turn the tide by taking down waves of attacking dinosaurs. Hal Jordan and Ace Morgan fight their way into the creature's core with bullets and missiles, but are quickly disoriented by its hallucinogenic effects. The creature secretes a thick red fluid that jams their weapons and nearly suffocates them. They're unable to eject their bombs or even trigger manual self-destruction. It is then that Hal's ring activates, relaying instructions from the Guardians of the Universe as how to use it. Ace manages to detonate his payload, and just before his plane explodes, Hal, now in a costume identical to Abin Sur's, rescues him in the nick of time. Welcome the new Green Lantern. The explosion gives the ground crew their opening as they prepare to send Flash to join the creature. The speedster is struck by the gravity of the situation and his role in it, but John reassures him that everyone will be behind him. Flash leaps onto the center, covering the entire surface on foot amongst all the dinosaurs before leaping into the ocean. Wonder Woman and John dive into the ocean after him and bring him up to the surface to see the explosions go off as planned. The center begins to shrink, but realizing its imminent destruction, it heads toward land to destroy the humans along with it. Hal envelops the island in green energy, as the center tries to discourage his willpower. But Hal Jordan, the new Green Lantern, has too much will for anyone to mess around with, as he tows it into space where it explodes, and Hal is overjoyed. The entire world celebrates the Centaur's defeat. Many participants in the battle attend a ceremony. During the celebration, Superman is found injured, but alive, saved by a man named Arthur, claiming to be from an underwater kingdom, Atlantis. Superman is then reunited with Lois and the rest of the heroes, who are celebrated on the front page of the Daily Planet. The pioneers gave their whole spirit, their will, and sometimes their lives to build the New West. They were determined to make the new world strong and free. Some would say that those struggles are all over, that all the horizons have been explored, that all the battles have been won, that there is no longer an American frontier. And today we stand in the footsteps of the new frontier. I am asking each of you to be pioneers of the new frontier as all mankind awaits upon our decisions. We cannot fail that trust, and we cannot fail to try, as we are the new frontier. Thank you for watching Second Look. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.